Governor of College Football. We are here today with the Honorable Judge Culpepper. Judge, how you doing today?
Doing fantastic.
Excited to sit down and talk with you today. You have a storied history. Your family, man, it's just an athletic family.
Sure.
Just to give everyone a background who don't know, your dad was in the NFL for years. Your brother Rex, a quarterback. Your mom was a contestant on the Survivor. Your dad ended up being on the Survivor as well. Your sister plays basketball. What was that household like growing up, brother?
Man, it was competitive, especially between me and my brother and then my dad too. And then when my sister came around, I mean, she we call her the best athlete in the house. She's scrappy. It was a lot. It was a lot of fighting, man. A lot of times I was like, the middleman, like, and when I say fighting, I don't mean like fighting.
Yeah.
I mean like, competition over all kinds
Absolutely.
of things. Board games, pick up basketball, whatever it was. It was always a dogfight. But we love each other and it was fun. But it was super competitive, man.
Yeah, you mentioned board games. Before I get into my next question, what's your all-time favorite board game?
Got to be Monopoly, man.
Hey, you did not just say Monopoly.
Yes, sir.
You did. Monopoly. I'm serious. Is my all-time favorite game. What's your favorite?
Best.
What's your favorite property in Monopoly?
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head, like Pike Place, maybe. I like
Park Place. So, okay, Boardwalk Park Place. I get it. I like the oranges. I'm an orange and red guy. Those are my favorite type of properties in Monopoly. So, how were you first introduced to sports? Was football your first love, and then how has the relationship with football evolved?
Well, I love football. Don't get me wrong, but the first sport I ever played was baseball. Though I got into t-ball when I was like 4, and I really loved baseball. I wasn't super great at it until my dad probably threw me 100,000 baseballs in the batting cage. And then I got pretty decent by the time I was like 12 or 13. But I started to grow real big. And, like, I was like, well, what about football? Like, you played football. I want to play football. So 7th grade rolled around, and my dad was like, all right, I'll let you play tackle football. I had grown up playing flag football, so I got into tackle football. It took me a couple practices to figure out what hitting was, what tackling was. So, but I've just hit it, from the ground running. Since then, I've loved it, fell in love with it. Still love it to this day, especially here at UT, and it's been great, man. It's been great.
That's great to hear, man. You dominated at Plant High School, rated a 4-star recruit by rivals. What was it like playing high school football in Florida? And I asked this to all the athletes. Some people say Texas, Pennsylvania, Ohio got the best high school football. I'm sure Florida has a horse in the race.
Oh, absolutely, man. Florida, I'll say this about high school football. It's fast. Skill players can run. Florida, man. I had a blast, though, at Plant High School. I feel like Florida's interesting in high school, like Central Florida, there's a lot of talent. South Florida, that's like a whole nother world. That's a lot of talent. And even like North Florida, you get like a different kind of talent, like in Jacksonville and then like right south of Georgia and Tallahassee. Like you get all these, it's like different, like great football all across the board, but it's like different levels. Like it's kind of strange, different teams like have different characteristics. So, I'm playing Central Florida teams all the way up into the playoffs. Then we get to like, the divisional round or the championship round. And it's like all these different teams from different spots and they're playing like lights out, but like a different style. And man, I love Florida high school football. I had so much fun. I had fun with my boys. We were like a hometown team, public school. It was awesome, man. I had a really, really good time doing that.
That sounds amazing, brother. I'm gonna switch gears here with you for a second. When I say Rex Strong, what does that mean to you?
I mean, that Rex is my hero. I grew up, following in his shadow pretty much my whole life, and then competing with him all the time. And he's a tough dude, man. My brother, he got diagnosed with testicular cancer his sophomore year of college. He was competing for the quarterback job, and over the spring, and he went to the doctor, and he called home, was like, hey, like, I really don't know what's going on, but I got to go do this. I got to go get surgery. And it was like, bang, bang, in and out of surgery in like 2 days. And then he was starting chemotherapy. He did 100 hours. Watching him go through that was really, really hard. Cause like, he's my hero, tough as nails, great athlete, great competitor, but chemotherapy, a lot of people are touched by, cancer, their families, and a lot of people have seen chemotherapy firsthand, and it really hurts people. Like, all his hair fell out. physically, it kind of took a toll on him. And man, like he really just attacked that. And for me, like personally, like no winter workout, no lift, no practice is ever going to be harder than seeing somebody go through that and what he went through going through that. So it's like, it's perspective, that just gives me perspective, makes me go that much harder and work that much harder. And man, he's my hero, man. I love my brother to death.
Wow, absolutely. Thank you. I truly appreciate you sharing that, Judge. You're a
Yes, sir.
senior in college now. Life has changed drastically for you since you were a freshman. Being a communications major, have you thought about life outside of football? If Judge Culpepper wasn't balling out on the football field, what would he be doing?
Man, that's a great question. I think about that all the time. I actually have a degree here already. It was like a history with a history focus, and I'm working on my second degree here, which is in communications. I have a year of philosophy, a
Ooh.
master's in philosophy under my belt. I did that last year. Um, I don't know. Honestly, like the end of the day, a name like Judge, I really want to go to law school. I really
You. I
want
mean,
to
you
be a
just got
lawyer.
to like the honorable man. It just
Right,
has to happen.
exactly. I mean, and because once you go to law school, you can actually be a judge, and I
Right.
think like judge, I feel like that'd be awesome. Like, that sounds like a TV
Yeah,
show to me.
I was just about to say they're gonna have to give you a TV show, Judge, come on, man.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah,
too dope. So you
that
have
would
an
be.
NIL deal with Open Doors. How do you view NIL being from a Mac school in Toledo, and how has the conversation changed around NIL? How has that shifted since you've been in college?
I mean, it's really crazy to think about. When we first got the news, okay, NIL is going to be a thing now. It was like some guys were like, "All right, this is amazing." Other guys were like, "That's not.
Hmm.
What is this?" Right now, I mean, it's really just kind of seeping in all aspects of the game. Like recruiting, what you can do for your players. Things like that, and then of course, the community out here, like. Um, Everybody in the community is like coming together and trying to support us, and we're trying to support them, and it's like a crazy relationship that isn't really something that players really go through until they used to go through until they were pros. Now we're getting to experience that now. I think it's really cool, and it's really opened up a lot of opportunities for athletes and small businesses and big businesses, at a lot of big schools. But I think here at Toledo, we're doing a really good job of getting out in the community and trying to help people and having people help us. It's been pretty great. So I'm pretty excited for my last year and seeing what I can do and who I can help and all that.
We spoke about NIL, and a lot of times with NIL, the term student athlete gets forgotten about. But the fact that you are a two-time academic All Big Ten and two-time academic All Mac as well, how does that feel?
I mean, I'm just one of those guys. Like I don't want to toot my own horn or anything like that, but I like finishing things that I start. Um, like when I'm working on a class, like I don't feel good unless I'm giving that you know my all. Um, but a lot of guys on this team are like that. It's a very blue collar mentality here at UT, and I think that a lot of guys know that classroom comes first. For some guys maybe it comes second, but it's very 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 close. Um, you know, we certainly love football here, but we also really take school seriously, and I think that that's a culture on this team that since I've been here has just amplified and amplified and taken another step up every year we go. And I think that it's truly an honor to be named academic all MAC, academic all Big Ten. That stuff, it means a lot. It's hard to be a student athlete, so if you can do both at a high level, I think that's what everybody's achieved or striving to do here.
Because I don't have your skill set, your ability to play the game, I talk the game. So talk with me. What is it like being in the zone? You had a game versus Kent State last year. You were just in the zone. You were locked in. Talk to me, one, about that game specifically, and two, what is it like when you just enter a zone and you feel like you just can't be stopped?
I don't even know. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hmm.
Like I know that you just like get this mindset. All of a sudden things start clicking and it's like, man, I can't do anything wrong. Like every move I got is working on this guy, that guy. It doesn't really matter. Put anybody in front of me. It's kind of crazy. Like it's just like a different mentality shift. But boy, that Kent State game was something else. Like they came out and they came out hot, and we were down like 21 points in the first quarter. But I remember coming to the sidelines and sitting down, my boy Dallas Gant next to me, and I kind of looked at him and he kind of looked at me, and they just scored, and I was like, we're winning this game. And he
Ooh.
looked at me and he was like, oh yeah, we're winning this game. And I don't know what it was, like the confidence level on our defense just never wavered the whole game. We came out after the half, it was like it was close because our offense was playing lights out. I mean, they were torching them there in the middle. We came out in the second half and we're like, made some changes and we were good to go. And it was just like play after play after play. I just feel like my confidence was really high and our confidence as a defense was high, and we were able to come back and overcome that deficit. I'll say this, that Kent State game was probably, because of how we handled adversity and came out on top of that, that was probably the most fun I've ever had playing football, man. It was, after that game,
That's
I just
crazy.
felt on top of the world. Just nothing like it.
That's amazing. Like I said, I love talking to athletes just to hear it. That way I can kind of imagine it and I can just see it in my head what it's like to be in that type of zone. So we're gonna switch gears again. We love to play a game here called Rapid Fire Questions. We're just gonna ask you some lighthearted questions just to see, who is Judge Culpepper behind the face mask. So first question I'm gonna ask you: what's your favorite pregame meal?
Got to be steak and noodles.
Steak and noodles. Nice and filling. I could dig it. So, next question I have for you. What is your favorite breakfast cereal? Like, maybe you don't eat cereal now, maybe growing up as a kid. What was your favorite cereal?
So I know this is like a weird one, but I'd have to say grape nuts. Now, hear me out. Like, my dad is like a firm believer in Tupelo honey. He's from like North Florida, Tallahassee, where like Tupelo honey is made. He loves it. So he used to put Tupelo honey on the grape nuts and then like milk in there. And it was crazy, man. I love that. That's my favorite.
Really?
Cereal.
My grandfather used to keep it all the time. Like, you'll just see it. They'll have that.
It's like, it's like old people cereal,
Yeah,
but it's really good with the Tupelo honey, man.
With the honey, it was A1. Wow. Are you a music guy? Do you listen to music before games?
Definitely like to lock in on some music.
Who you listen to?
I listen to rap a lot, like in the locker room and in the weight room especially. But a lot of times before games, I like to turn on like '90s grunge rock. So I listen to Alice in Chains. I listen to Soundgarden, Nirvana. Huge Stone Temple Pilots fan. That whole like grunge era. That's my jam before games. It just gets me in like the headspace to go play some D-line and be a physical monster.
Speaking of D-line, what's your favorite technique to line up at on the D-line?
Man, that has like fluctuated my entire career. But I'd have to say like a cocked nose, like a nose guard right on the center. Like, I feel like you can just jump the snap a couple of times, come over with a nice arm over and get free and make a play. Like, I love those. I love being a quick nose guard. But you got to have some weight to you if you're playing that nose guard position, because like as quick as you get off the ball, whatever, they come with that double team. If you don't have 290 behind you, you get blown up a little bit. So, but I love that.
Absolutely. Do you have any memories of your pops playing ball?
I think he retired when I was 2. So I got like memories. I think I have a memory of him coming home from practice one time. Maybe it was when I was 3. I can't remember. But no, I don't have any memories of like going to a game and watching him play, unfortunately. But he's got all his film, man. He's got NFL film cut-ups. He throws those on all the time. He's like, look at this. This is how you need to play.
What are those conversations like where you just sitting in front of him? I'm sure you're all ears whenever he's speaking. What is it like when he's talking football and talking about the good old days, back at, him playing with the Gators and all of that?
I just try to turn into a sponge and like absorb what he's saying. I also understand it was a little bit of a different game when he was playing.
Absolutely.
But not that different. I mean, it was the 90s. Like it was tough. It was like everybody was yoked up and but I try to be a sponge and listen to everything he says because he's so knowledgeable. He was like he was a really quick player. He wasn't like super athletic. He wasn't super tall. He was super strong. He was super quick and he was super smart. So he was always like figuring things out. Like he had a great and insane like football instincts. And I'm just trying to like emulate that, see where he gets that, and like try and put that into my game. Like more and more as I play more and more. And that's what he says, the more you play defensive tackle, the more you start to feel these things in a game, the more you can start to play loose, the more you can make plays, and the more you make plays, the better you are. So.
Wow. I love that. So what was the off season like? You guys doing the circuit training, and then we had spring ball, and now it's fall camp. How you feel like, one, where you're at personally after this off season, and then where's the team at this past off season?
There was a lot of growth. I mean, we got a lot of older players coming back this year, and I think we hit the ground running after that MAC championship and bowl game. It was really a quick turnaround, and it was like, all right, like, amazing season last year, but now we have the opportunity to do something that hasn't been done here in 30 years, which is, go or 50 years, I don't even know, long time,
Mm-hmm.
just go back to back. And I think the sense of urgency this year has been even higher and heightened than it was last year. We had a great off season. We did mat drills, we did winter workouts in the morning. It was, it's a grind, but boy, we love the grind here, man. And I think we really embraced it. And then summer came around. No, we actually spring ball. Sorry, we had a great spring ball. I feel like, as a defense, the offense looked great too. And then summer, I got up. So I was like, I played last year. I think I weighed out of the last game, like, because you lose weight over the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think I weighed out on that last game at like 269. Like, I was so skinny, This offseason, I've gotten up to 294, and I'm feeling quick, and I'm feeling fast and strong and bigger than I've ever been. And I'm just excited to get rolling here, man. And we got some good teams on the schedule. But we're excited. We're really, really excited. And I feel like we got something really special going here with our team. And I think everybody's bought in, and it's going to be good. I have a feeling.
Judge, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to look into that camera. I want you to talk to the Toledo Rockets faithful, and if you could write them a Dear Toledo letter, what would be in it?
Dear Toledo, get ready, because we're coming. We're coming for more. It's going to be a good season. I hope you got season tickets. Tune in. It's going to be good.
Judge, I truly appreciate your time. I will be paying a lot of attention to you guys this upcoming season. CFB Nation, we're traveling. We're going to be going everywhere, so we're going to try to make sure we make a pit stop in Toledo this season.
Absolutely. That'd be awesome.
All righty. Appreciate your time, brother. Best of luck to you this upcoming season. You have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.